If you have found this video, it means you probably read my latest editorial in ISSA Today magazine. The topic is the state of the building service contracting industry and what you can do to overcome challenges as you grow your cleaning company. I was privileged to get with 3 ISSA member companies on tape to provide some guidance for you. All 3 are success stories in themselves. In this production, you're going to hear just from them. You're going to hear from Matt Vonachen, the CEO at Vonachen Group and the Vice President-elect at ISSA. Also, Laurie Sewell. She's a president and CEO at Servicon Systems, and also Christi Redfearn, the CEO at REDLEE SCS. So sit back, get out a notepad, and write down the key strategies you take from this video. There will be a few things that maybe you're doing you can improve on, or new ideas, or maybe it's just about thought leadership that will help you succeed as you grow your cleaning company. I'm Jeff Cross, and this is a special edition of Straight Talk.
Well, a lot of people consider us an outsourced labor provider. So a lot of the work we do for our clients today really pertains to things that aren't part of their core competency. And doing that would be all types of different building maintenance functions, commercial janitorial. We also get involved in providing material handling laborers, forklift drivers. We get involved in doing shipping and receiving, 5S cleaning, but really anything that the customer needs done that really doesn't pertain to whatever their core competency is. And given the labor market today, most of our clients are trying to gather all their employees to focus on what their core competency is in their business. And they've looked for people like us to provide labor to perform different functions that they normally would have performed in-house.
We kind of ingrain ourselves with our clients as an extension of their management team. We often are involved in their staff meetings with their security vendors, their landscaping vendors, the rest of the facility maintenance group that's even employed. And we're there to solve their problems. So traditionally, yes, we handle the cleaning for them, but we've gotten to the point where they look to us to provide a bunch of other services. If it's specific cleaning for a tenant, if it's one of those things where they're showing a space and they need a make-ready clean, then we take care of that. Electrostatic disinfection services, lead support, because I'm a lead AP. So there's still some of that going on where they go through certification or recertification, and we provide a lot of support with that. So we kind of look at ourselves as I've got a guy. And so if we don't do it directly, we have relationships and we'll make sure that whatever problem they're facing, that it's taken care of.
We provide healthy environments for people to thrive, right? That's the outcome of our work. And so I think what separates Servicon is we start with developing or attracting, engaging, and developing and retaining good people. So we look at if we have the right people, we do the right thing by them, we train them well, then the business will flourish. We will get good clients, we'll keep good clients, and we will be financially stable. And that model has really worked well for us. And we talk about it by doing well by doing right. And when we have an emphasis on the employee and the employee experience, that bleeds into a fantastic client experience, which allows us to maintain our customer base and keep them satisfied. So I would say really leaning into our corporate culture, leaning into our mission, vision, values, continuously communicating that out. There's that old saying, take care of your people that take care of your business. And it's worked for us for 50 years. And I often think, and I've seen it in this industry. I see a lot of companies in this industry doing that. It's so why I think it's unique to Servicon. I think there are a lot of great companies in this industry because we aren't egocentric, because our industry is kind of not thought of as glamorous. You see a lot of really great, humble leaders that really take care of their people. And I think that's why we've got great people in our industry who stay for a really long time too.
There's lots of things on multiple fronts, but let's start with growth. I'm a believer that growth is critical to the survival and success in this business. And I think when it pertains to growth, we're looking at organic growth within our existing customers. We're looking for our outside sales team to bring new relationships to the business. And then we're also involved in merger and acquisitions and building our footprint, which today is in the Midwest. And I would call ourselves a platform company. We operate in 12 different states in 63 different markets, but continuing to grow and scale the business. What we have found in this business is that, growth is not only essential for the ownership of the company, but it's more importantly, it's essential for the employees in the business. If we don't grow, we're not creating opportunities for our people. If you think about our frontline workers, who are really the bread and butter of our business, how do they advance? If you have contracts with fixed monthly fees, and you don't have an opportunity to raise the wages where you'd like to raise them, how do you give them other opportunities? And we have found through growth and giving people an opportunity to grow with the company, to move to a different market or even move to a different vertical and a different account. But I think providing growth opportunities for your people is absolutely critical. With the growth, what we've created is a learning management system within our company. So today we have 80 different programs that any employee can participate in. And those programs lay out, what is required for them to move to the next position within the organization. If they're a frontline person and they would like to become a supervisor, or if they're a supervisor and would like to become an area manager, there's opportunities for them to take these classes online at their own discretion and prepare themselves for the next opportunity. We also have a program called ICAP. ICAP is the Individual Career Advance Plan. So our HR department is giving all the employees an opportunity to meet with them and talk about their career plans and their career expectations. So as we identify some people that want to move up within the organization, we want to be sure we capture those people and make sure we're doing something to help facilitate their advancement. This is a people-driven business. And if you're a people-driven person, you're going to love it. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend this business, but you really need to enjoy, working with people on a day-to-day business. We often say here, Jeff, that we're not a business of brick and mortar. We're a business of people, and focusing on people with your culture and making sure that you're providing dignity and respect to every individual within the company is just critical.
But for me, it's similar to Matt, seeing success stories firsthand, watching someone grow from a day porter to all the way up to a supervisor to an operations manager, and then they're going out and selling and creating more opportunities for themselves and for others. It's incredibly rewarding. And if you set up those kinds of opportunities for people and they take advantage of them, and you build something where everybody feels like they're part of a team and they feel appreciated and valued and know that their work matters. And to Laurie's point, like, we create healthy environments. It's one of those, if COVID taught us anything, then it's that if we don't show up and do our work, there's problems. And so we're critical to keeping this whole thing going. And, it's exciting to see all of that. And frankly, that's what's motivating to me. And the numbers are just a byproduct of how well we're doing it.
I remember when my son years ago said to me, "Mom, I don't think I'd like to do what you do for work." And I said, "Well, what do I do?" And he said, "Well, you do spreadsheets, you have meetings, you speak, you do, and so he's just talking about the things he's kind of seen, the activities he's seen me do. And I said, "Oh, that's not what I do." And he's like, I provide opportunities for people to grow, for families to buy their first homes, to send their kids to college. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, that's the exciting stuff, exactly what you guys are talking about. There's nothing better than going to work and knowing that the people that are working for you are and working with you are striving to be better, and you're providing them opportunities to do that. I mean, that's the exciting stuff. Spreadsheets, they're really exciting too, but
well, as I look back, I certainly have made a lot of mistakes, and I think it's critical to acknowledge those mistakes and learn from them. But one of the key things is understanding people, and people are really what makes this business. I wish I had the appreciation when I began my career of how important the people in the company were to your success as a business. Leadership, culture. Culture is critical. When you're young, it's hard to understand what culture is and how to create a culture in your organization. But now, at the point we are in our career, all three of us understand that really the leader is responsible for setting the tone and creating the culture in the business. And whatever culture you have in your company is typically going to be emulated from the leadership. So understanding the importance of that and how you want to be represented in the market really has to start with the leader.
I would say, having literally grown up in this business and having Friday night dinners where all they talked about was what was going on with the company. I didn't learn until I started having dinner at my friend's house that other families actually asked the kids how their day went. But I got a crash course in the janitorial business, and I wish that earlier on I had been a little less rebellious about the business itself. I ran away a few times before I finally realized that this is where I needed to be, because of the people who had essentially, given me the life that I had growing up because of the company. And I had the realization that it was now my opportunity to pay it forward and do that for other people.
It was funny when I was younger. I live in LA, right? So LA is film industry. It's movies, and so you'd go to parties when I was younger, and people were like, "What do you do?" And it was always, "What do you do?"
Right.
Well, early on, it was like, well, I tell toilet paper, and it was really funny because all these people are like, "Well, I'm on this TV show, I'm in and they just kind of like pass by you." And a number of years later, when I really understood what the value of this work and what this industry was, and how amazing the people in this industry are, I just boldly started going forward and going, I sell cleaning products. I keep places clean. I work, our company cleans these areas and this, and we help, people go to the moon and in the defense industry and, all of the outcomes of our work, and really started talking about that. And I think that's when I started becoming this like evangelist about our industry. Because, particularly in this, the town that I live in, how people would, look down on things that weren't the business, right? They'd always ask you, are you in the industry? And I would say, yes, I am. Let me tell you about our industry. So no, I'm thrilled to be in it.
Well, as it pertains to the ISSA, I would want to make sure that everybody knows and understands the ISSA is really the home for the cleaning industry. It's the one organization on a global basis where all the manufacturers, all the distributors, the building service contractors, the manufacturer reps, we all belong to the same association, and it's our home. And in addition to, establishing your home within the cleaning industry, there's a lot of resources within the ISSA. And there's something there that I think would help every business. And I would encourage people to, get involved in the association. There's lots of networking opportunities, lots of resources to learn how to run your business. There's people to gather with into peer groups, and in those peer groups, discuss what your challenges are as a business. So I think it's just critical to join your association and then be active in it.
Yes. If I had anything to add with ISSA, it's amazing the resources and training opportunities and the ways to better your business. SIMS was a game changer for us. It opened doors to new clients that we wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to do. And it's absolutely a big separator for us because more and more clients are requesting it or demanding it. And a lot of times we're the ones that help drive that because we'll tell them about it. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, that's interesting. Third party, independent, verifying that we do and say all the things that we're telling them that they do. It gives them a lot of reassurance. And so they then decide, okay, well, then we're going to put that in RFP as well. So it definitely helps. It also forces us to continuously look at our processes and procedures because we do have to recertify every 2 years. And I would even say that it helped us through COVID because it wasn't a matter of what do we do? It was just how do we adapt it for this particular circumstance?
So ISSA, like Matt said, it's a community. I have met great people in this industry and made friends and connections that have just, carried me through the years. I mean, I think Matt, we met 25 years ago or 26 years ago at the Young Executive Society.
I think in 93.
Something, yeah, it's been a little while. Wow. But I said before, once people get this in their blood, they stay in the industry because they love it. And so these relationships and these connections that you make, they're long lasting. And so, I still call people I met 30 years ago if I've got a question or, want to make a referral. I'm close with people that have been speakers at ISSA through the years who I've continued to work with in different areas. I also have worked with TIPS. Our company worked with the infection prevention specialist to do white paper studies. So it's another thing that we've worked with ISSA for. And it's just, I literally keep telling people, you can just call them. You can just call the legislative people and ask them a question about something that's going on in your state, and they will help you. And I think people just don't recognize how readily available the resources are to them with ISSA. ISSA has been a game changer for me, starting with the Young Executive Society many years ago, and getting to know the people that work there and the association, and just staying connected. The shows, have been a tremendous opportunity for us to find innovations and opportunities that we wouldn't necessarily see waiting for somebody to knock on our door, right? But I would just say, get involved regardless of how old you are. I'm really fortunate, and I think Matt would probably agree with me, that we got involved young at an early age. We didn't wait until, we were senior leaders in our company to get involved in ISSA. I mean, there's opportunities for everybody at whatever stage of their career. I mean, Hygeia, the women's network, is fantastic. I remember being one of the few women leaders. Christi, you and I probably were one of 5 years ago. There's mentoring opportunities. There's just so many opportunities to get involved in. And the more you do, I think you're just going to continue to feel like we do, where you really genuinely feel connected to and love this business.
I'll just add my last thing. The value of ISSA really is beyond the obvious, that there are resources to make your business better, you as an individual better, to be a better leader, et cetera. One of the things that I've always appreciated about it is the fact that it advocates on a global scale that cleaning is valuable. Yeah. And we all know that. We know the difference that it makes, but it is really hard sometimes to convince a client, hey, we need to raise our rates because we need to start paying people $15 an hour instead of 8 or 10 if you want a good job. Yeah, COVID helped, right or wrong. It was mass exodus, and the continued inflation pressures today are helping. It's that kind of, you can't ignore it anymore. So rates are going up, costs are going up. 60 to 70% of our cost is people. And if you want to find good people, or sadly people at all at this point, because it's hard to staff, period, then you have to look at it as not an expense, but an investment in the operations of your building, the longevity of the facility. And, not cleaning well, unfortunately, whether they want to admit it or not, has a cost on the overall value of the building.
Well, to amplify what Christi said is, we always used to talk about our work as asset protection. And frankly, given the fact that our work is about a healthy indoor environment, their number one asset is their people, and not just their buildings. So we're in the business of protecting their people, keeping them healthy and allowing them to continue to work and thrive and build their business. So when you take that asset and move it into that human capital world, we're really talking about, a huge impact that we have.
Jeff, I would add that, as a business, you're going to go through different challenges with the economy. In my career, we went through the recession in 2008 and 2009, and that was brutal. We watched about 35% of our business just evaporate, and businesses shutting down or reducing shifts. We all went through the pandemic. I think overall the pandemic was pretty good for the building service sector, although challenging when it came to employment. And now inflation, which we just spoke about. I think inflation is probably one of the most challenging things we've been through. We have spent some time training our leaders on how to sell price increases, because they're coming so rapidly. And that's another place where, I lean to the association for, their expertise on how to train these leaders on really how to explain to a customer, why we're coming back for a second time this year for a price increase. So the association can help you get through these challenging times if you take advantage of it.